Hey guys, my name is Kelly, and I am going to share with you a little bit about myself and what coaching has done for me. So, weight issues have always been a huge part of my life. I can remember back to as young as 12 years old being on the bus with my friends comparing weights and me being the heaviest one, and just how bad it made me feel. Then in high school, I tried going the not eating route, and it didn't work because I love my food. So I ended up going the opposite route and binging, which resulted in purging, and I developed bulimia, and um, ended up seeing a therapist who diagnosed me with bipolar, put me on a ton of meds, and the more the meds didn't work, they just upped the dose, added more to it for anxiety, depression, all that stuff. I was later on diagnosed with hyperthyroidism, which caused me to lose a great deal of weight. And in high school, I was a cheerleader. I remember being on the basketball court and from the crowd, someone yelling, "Tank, you're a tank" at me, and just running off the court, sobbing my eyes out. That night I went home and I was just laying in bed. My mom was rubbing my back and she was like, "It's okay, it's going to be okay." And I just was sobbing, saying, "I lost 20 pounds. I already lost 20 pounds. What more do these people want from me?" And it was just such a low point in my life. I ended up dropping out of high school due to depression, anxiety, all that stuff. I just could not concentrate anymore. I was failing, and it was just the best choice for me at the time. I eventually met my then fiance and was young, dumb, moved to Arizona, and he ended up being extremely verbally abusive. I got pregnant for the first time at 20 years old and had my first miscarriage at 20 years old. And he told me that I had miscarried because my body did not know anything other than Big Macs. And to where it wasn't fat, my body rejected it. And being the naive, young, in love, wearing rose-colored glasses girl I was, I stayed with him. I stayed with him through the broken phones, through the abuse, through the cut-up clothes, not having anything to wear to work because he slashed everything in my closet. And the breaking point was I left because I was broke, not because of what he'd done to me. I left because he'd lied to me about having a job, and where he was really going every day was gambling. And I could no longer live off payday loans. I had used up everything I could, every resource, and I moved back home. It took a long time, and eventually I came to my senses, met my now husband, and continued to struggle with depression. I was working, coming home, taking Tylenol PM as soon as I got off work, and sleeping until I had to go back to work, and that was my life. It eventually got to me. I said, "I'm done. I cannot do this anymore. I cannot live like this." And I took every kind of pill I had in my house, all of them, the depression pills, the anxiety, the bipolar, full bottles, as well as Tylenol PM. And I texted my sisters and I called my mom and I told them I loved them. I said goodbye. And then I went an ugly cry. And luckily, my husband was smart enough to realize that I was becoming kind of delirious and not making sense. And he called my mom and said he was taking me to the ER because he went searching through the cupboards. He knew I was going through a pretty deep depression, and he was very quick-witted and grabbed all the pills, brought them all with me, and I ended up in the hospital for a few days. I remember being able to hear things, but I couldn't speak or anything. And was placed on a psych hold after my time in the hospital, and released to my parents. And Matt and I kind of went our separate ways a few weeks later, and only to find out I was pregnant. And luckily, I was not pregnant at the time that I had tried that. And we prepared everything, and we had 2 kids. But during that time while I was there, I found out that I was actually misdiagnosed. I had been 5 years on medication I did not need. The hyperthyroidism I was in at the time presented itself in the wrong ways, and the cocktail of meds were never needed. So, my son is 5 now, and I have not taken any medication since he was born. But I did still struggle with depression. And after my daughter was born, I found the 21-day fix. She was 20 months old when I started it, just about to be 2. And I remember thinking that I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'd struggled with depression long enough. I'd been on medication. I wanted to find a way to do this on my own. And I started it, and a few days in, I was like, whoa, like, this is how my body was meant to feel. This is how clear I can feel, and my depression was, I felt good. Just a few days in, you guys, this was crazy to me. And I wasn't coaching at the time, but I was sharing my story because of how amazed I was at this whole thing. So Jen came to me and she said, have you ever thought of coaching? And I was like, no, maybe for the discount, but I never thought of actual coaching because, believe it or not, I'm shy. She was like, no, you aren't. I'm like, yeah, I'm shy. Well, along the way, I found that I really wasn't shy. I just had no confidence. I would not go out in public. I would not go talk to new people, and now none of that phases me. But what I really found along the way with coaching is that I can be myself. I can share my struggles. I can be raw. I can be open. And people appreciate that because usually there's someone going through the same thing that you can help. So this isn't just about helping with health. This isn't just about helping with fitness. You're helping in life. For the first time as a coach, I shared my story about my attempted suicide, and it's something I'd never opened up about. And the messages I received were crazy. I actually had one girl say, this is something I've been contemplating, and to see your life now, it makes me rethink where I'm at, and to have that message, it was a pretty crazy thing. It was like a full circle moment, because I'd always ask God, why me? And to have this here, it was like, this is it. It wasn't why me. He was literally preparing me to be able to help people all along, to be able to say, not just, I hear you, I understand, to be able to say, I really, literally understand you. I've been in that situation. I can help. It will get better. And so just being able to help others in so many more ways has been absolutely amazing. The team, I can't say enough about them. They have really taught me to be positive no matter what. There's always you can make any negative situation into a positive, and I could not be any more grateful for that. I really needed that in my life at that time. And so to be able to say that this is my job to help people, this is my job to help people feel healthy, feel good, to help people understand that where you're at, it's going to get better. And it's just crazy that I can call this my job, you guys, that I can say my best friends are my coworkers, that I can say I trust them with my life, I trust them with my deepest, darkest secrets. And not only that, but then to be able to open up about those deepest, darkest secrets and have no one judge you. And if they do, who cares? But it's an amazing feeling, you guys. And I cannot stress enough how much coaching has changed my life and the happiness it's brought to me. People that obviously knew me throughout my life, to have them say, whoa, you've changed. And this is why. Coaching has changed me. It has completely changed my life, and I really hope you guys give it a chance.